is actually a financial thing. So Disney had a situation where when they, back in, God, was it 2021? They released Disney Plus, which was their streaming platform, right? And yeah, big expectations for it. Thought it was going to be like HBO Max had come out before, and HBO crushed it, made a ton of money, right? So they thought that was going to go real well. They launched it, didn't get that many subscribers, not as many as they were hoping, right? And so what happened was their stock price shot way up and then collapsed about 30% over that year, right? And they've been sort of climbing back up. Now, here's Tim Pool. If you don't know who Tim Pool is, he says he's a moderate guy. He's not. He's extremely right wing. But he's going to talk about how Disney is in deep shit because of wokeism. And it's going to be funny because Tim didn't read the article. And the article's from the Daily Mail, so I don't trust it anyway. It's a right-wing paper. But there are facts of the article, and Tim clearly didn't read the article before going on air. And here's a guy who makes millions a year on his fucking podcast, and he can't be bothered to read the article. And it is hilarious. So you just strap in. So Tim's going to do his analysis of what happened at Disney.
Talk about get woke, go broke, ladies and gentlemen. Disney is going to be laying off 7,000 of its global staff this week, CEO Bob Iger announces, after share price plunges 31% in a year following series of woke controversies. Get woke, go broke on steroids. Oh, man. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. CEO Bob Iger made the announcement Monday in a letter to his employees. Iger recently reinstated as CEO, is working to save the company $5.5 billion. You know, I've been talking about how I need your help over at timcast.com.
Okay, so here's what's going on. So we're 38 seconds in, right? So Tim's talking about go woke, go broke. It'll ruin you, right? And now he's going to do like 2 minutes of advertising. Okay? And we're going to skip it because I don't want to hear it. But join me, Lacey, for a second. He's got it up here on the screen while he's doing his advertising. Let's go down to the fourth paragraph here. It starts with, the cuts come after the company reported profits of $23.51 billion, which exceeded analyst expectations of $23.44 billion. However, the company's stock price has sunk over 30% in the past year as it faces controversies over previous CEO Bob Chapek's disastrous wading into the culture wars. That part's bullshit. The stock went down because Disney Plus did not fare very well. It didn't do as well as they thought, but it also shot up quite a bit. So he's going to spend the next 2 minutes with this article on the screen. All right, the article proves go woke, go broke, and it says right there, while it's right next to him, while he's doing his ads, Disney exceeded its profit goals, or what the analysts were hoping. So Disney made a lot of money.
Not only did he not read it, but whoever the staff members are have it projected largely
next to him,
right next to his head while he's yapping about this dumb crap.
And he's going to go on for like 2 minutes talking bullshit. But I want to show you this real quick. I should have brought it up before, but I will do it.
Which layer of this dip are we on, man? I mean, like...
Dipshittery. Dipshitter.
Third layer here.
The layer now is dipshittery. Hang on, let's do this. So, we're going to do... Let me pull this over real quick. So this is... let's get rid of that. So this is Disney... What's the time frame here? I want to do... Let's do 5 years. Let's do... This will be easier to show you on a max chart. Come on. Here we go. So what happened here, right? You know, this is the 80s and stuff like that. Let's actually go... I don't want to go that far into the weeds. I don't know. Let's just go back to 5. 5 will be easy. So here's COVID and shit, right? You know, when the stock market crashed, Disney went down, right? Mm-hmm. Then what happened was, this is where Disney Plus came out. And you see the stock shares went dramatically up, right? and peaked out at, what was it? They peaked out at almost 200. It was like 197, right? From kind of where the normal level would be, Disney probably be closer to about 120. Well, what happened was that peaked out. Hulu Plus didn't work out by the end of the year. Everybody bailed on Disney. And then the market had a really bad year in 2022. And now Disney's back up again in the last few months, right? It's done better because it's been making profits. But it's been making profit the whole time, right? They haven't been down or losing money. It's just that their Disney Plus thing didn't pan out the way they wanted it to. So this whole analysis is already bullshit, right? So let's go ahead and let's see, where am I? So let's skip to this next portion with Tim because he is off the rack. So we're going to skip ahead, and now Tim's actually, after 2 minutes of that being up next to him, he's now actually going to read the article for the first time on air.
I'm just like, this is going good. We are doing it. We are building up while they are burning down. Disney, I got a solution for you. Cut the woke garbage. Get back to American traditional values, meritocracy, individuality, personal responsibility, and community all together. It may seem paradoxical, individuality with community. No, it's because we respect the individual's rights, but also the importance of working together with shared moral foundations. Start restoring that, and maybe you wouldn't have to lay people off, because they specifically point out woke controversy.
Which isn't the
Here's
issue.
The story. The cuts come out of the company reported profits of $23.51 billion, which exceeded analysts' expectations. So I mean, look, that's still good for them.
Oh yeah, is it, Tim?
Did
you figure that out? Did you figure that out? So he's got this whole diatribe: go woke, go broke. This is what's ruining Disney. Oh, but they made money. Oh shit. Oh, that's good for them, I guess.
Like, I don't know.
Maybe I should have read this bullshit article before I cited it.
Or like somebody should have. Somebody should have read it. I mean, if you want to go with it blind, somebody that's associated with the show should have at least read it. My goodness.
Oh, well, it gets even more horrific than that, because check this out. So he goes into this. This is 2 days ago that he's reading this, right? So
Controversy over previous CEO Bob Chapek's disastrous wading into the culture wars.
That wasn't the issue.
Mouse took a huge publicity blow as Ron DeSantis officially took control of Disney's Reedy Creek Improvement District in his war with the corporate kingdom, in a move that will give him the power to...
Okay, so here's the thing. So Ron DeSantis in Florida is the governor of Florida. And this is part of what Tim's pissed too, is they're pissed about, the Little Mermaid's a black girl. They're pissed about that. They're pissed about Disney donating money to LGBT causes and trying to reach more to the LGBT community. They're ticked about that. And we've talked about this before. Disney's not doing this because they give a shit. They're doing it because they want to reach those audiences and make money off of them. Mm-hmm. Right? So you got to play the game, right? Even if...
They've realized that if their market is only white and straight, they have greatly limited the amount of money they can pull in.
Yeah.
So they need to reach non-white and non-straight markets.
Well, and if they really want to make money off the Disney Plus or other stuff, they have to reach other cultures. They have to reach people in Europe, people in Asia. They have to reach people in South America. That's how HBO made a ton of money in HBO Max, because HBO is just movies for the most part. And then they had Game of Thrones, and that was kind of multicultural, and it applied to a lot of shit. And so it's like Disney, or not Disney, but HBO Max universally applies, is where Disney's, a lot of their stuff is very American. And it doesn't really, these other cultures are not familiar with it. So there's not a big demand in like Japan to buy Disney, right? Or in France or wherever, right? As opposed to Game of Thrones was a big thing all over the world, and HBO Max made a killing. So here's the deal. So conservatives were all upset. Ron DeSantis is now the fascist running for president against Trump, very much placating to the anti-trans, anti-gay movement, right? And his party. So what he did was he did this deal to try and make himself look cool. Where what's it called? It's Reedy Creek is the area where Disney World is in Florida. And at Reedy Creek, they had a deal back in '67 with the state of Florida where Disney World was self-governed by itself. So they had their own board that oversaw the laws and rules of Disney World. They had to comply with Florida and federal laws, but they kind of oversaw what they wanted. And Disney got a deal where Disney World didn't have to pay taxes because they're providing so many jobs and all this stuff, right? And so they haven't paid taxes.
Oh, aren't they just special?
Well, they pay federal tax, but they don't pay state tax, right, in Florida. So they don't pay the state of Florida. So huge deal, right? This deal's been going on for a long time. Desantis wanted to overthrow the Disney personal board and put his own board in. So they pushed their own law to do that. And then his own board was going to then oversee Reedy Creek of his whatever right-wing appointed people that he appointed. And the idea was, well, we're going to tax them $700 million and make all these rules and stop them from having, LGBTQ friendly shit at the park and all this stuff. Right? Real, right-wing, jackboot kind of shit. Right? Well, Tim's talking about this 2 days ago. What Tim doesn't realize is 3 or 4 days ago, earlier this week, something interesting happened with Ron DeSantis taking over. And we're going to go to Chuck Todd on Meet the Press to explain what happened here.
Ron DeSantis learned an important lesson this week. Don't mess with the mouse. The Walt Disney Corporation has come out on top, at least for now, in the ongoing power struggle between the company and DeSantis to control the previously independent area that houses Disney's parks in the state of Florida. A new document, first reported by the Orlando Sentinel, reveals that just weeks before the board DeSantis established to take control of the area came into power, Disney moved to limit that new board's control, unbeknownst to the governor and the board itself. And they did it, at the time, under perfectly legal ways to do it. The company also invoked a rare legal clause that makes the move valid in perpetuity or until 21 years after the death of the last living descendants of King Charles. For real. Yes, the king over there. The board said that they will challenge the document. The fight between Disney and DeSantis started over Disney's political activities, namely their support of the LGBTQ community, as DeSantis continues his push to curtail LGBTQ visibility. Our senior national.
So, we don't need to go into any more of that. So, Tim pulls up an article. See, wokeism is bad. Go woke, go broke. Blah, 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 blah. He clearly only read the headline, right? Then, paragraph 4, which is up next to him on the screen while he's doing all his advertisements, says, oh, wait, no, Disney made money, so your whole argument's shit. Right? Then he reads it, realizes it's shit, skips past that completely without acknowledging it at all, then goes on to say, oh, but see, DeSantis has taken over Disney and good for him and all this shit, blah, 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 not realizing, no, DeSantis isn't taking over Disney because they fucking undercut him beforehand. And that was already released before Tim shot this.
This just keeps getting stupider. All right, so we're up to layer what?
Oh, we're probably only layer 2 right now, baby. We're barely getting.
God.
The show is not long enough for us to go through all 7 layers. It's just not happening, kids.
Oh no, I'm gonna have to eat and go outside and publicly urinate and all of that.
Yeah, we have lives, so.
Yeah, right?
Oh.
I mean, it might not have lives other than to hang out here and, talk about the insanity that they're doing, but we really do.
That's the news. That's it. We're not doing any more news. We can't cover any more stupidity today. Well, we're going to cover some more, but
handle any more of the stupidity of the news today. I feel like we might have hit our threshold, at least for today.
Yeah.